Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, today is not just another Saturday. It is a divine reminder that no matter what you face, you can overcome this, and you will come out stronger than before. I know life has thrown storms at you. Some of you walked into this year with disappointment, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. You may have felt like the ground beneath you was shaking, like prayer after prayer returned empty. But hear me, this is not the end of your story. Sometimes life presses you because there is more inside you than you ever realized. A seed must be buried before it can grow. A diamond must be crushed before it can shine. And strength must be tested before it becomes power. Both affection and desire, HENVEN, is sus, handed between calls, REASTRAINT, and a setup for growth, a setup for transformation, a setup for becoming everything you were destined to be. You may not feel strong right now, but strength doesn't always show up with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives quietly, when you take one more step, pray one more prayer, show up for one more day. You're still here, and that means you haven't lost. The fact that you are breathing tells me God is not done with you. The fact that you are listening tells me He is still shaping you. The enemy wanted you to give up, but look at you, still believing, still hoping, still reaching. That means the fire didn't burn you, it forged you. You may not understand the process now, but one day you will look back and say, I needed that season. It made me wiser. It made me stronger. It made me see who I really am. Your circumstance does not define you. Your faith does. Your courage does. Your perseverance does. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not finished. You are still becoming. So step into this new day, this new season, this new year with the confidence that what is ahead of you is greater than what is behind you. Hold on to your faith. Hold on to your hope. Hold on to the promise that you are destined for more, because you will overcome this, and you will come out stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. May you rise, may you stand, may you overcome. Your pain is not permanent, it's a passageway. You may feel today as though the weight of what you're carrying is too heavy, as though the disappointment, the heartbreak, and the confusion have built walls around your mind. But pain is never designed to be a final destination. It is a transition, something you pass through on your way to transformation. The struggle you are facing right now is not announcing your ending. It is inviting you into a deeper becoming. So many people assume that when pain arrives, purpose leaves. But the truth is, purpose is often birthed right in the middle of discomfort. The moments you thought would break you are the same moments that are shaping you. The tears you cried were not wasted. They watered the soil where your future strength is growing. Pain has a way of stripping away what is unnecessary so that you can discover what truly matters. Sometimes you must pass through darkness to uncover the light that has been hidden within you. When life hurts, it's easy to think you are being punished, forgotten, or abandoned. But pain is rarely about punishment. It is about preparation. You are being prepared for a version of yourself you have not yet seen. The pressure you feel is developing endurance. The frustration you feel is teaching patience. The uncertainty you feel is guiding you toward trust. Every season has a purpose, and pain is often the season that teaches the deepest lessons. The hallway may be narrow. It may be dim. It may feel lonely. But remember, a hallway isn't forever. You weren't meant to set up camp there. You were meant to move through it. Pain pushes you, growth pulls you, Destiny waits for you. You are in transition even now, though everything around you tells you nothing is changing. Yet, beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. Your faith is stretching. Your understanding is maturing. Your character is being molded. What's ahead of you requires more strength than what was behind you, and pain is preparing you for what's coming. A seed must go into the ground, covered in darkness, before it ever pushes through the soil. That darkness is not its burial place, it's the birthplace of its purpose. In the same way, you may not see progress, movement, or change, but deep inside, something is shifting. Your pain is not burying you, it is planting you. You are growing even in silence. You are developing even in stillness. You are preparing even in waiting. There are seasons in which pain becomes a mentor. It teaches what comfort never could. It exposes strengths you didn't know were there. It reveals weaknesses that needed healing. It separates the superficial from the authentic. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you would have ignored when life was easy. Pain has a way of demanding honesty. It strips away the excuses and invites you to see your true reflection. You may feel tired. You may feel weary. You may feel unsure of how much longer you can keep going, but hold on. You were never meant to stop here. There is purpose on the other side of this passage. The heaviness will lift. The confusion will clear. The burden will break. You will not be here forever. Pain waves, but it will not drown you. Darkness lingers, but dawn is coming. Every step you take while hurting is strength. Every breath you breathe while broken is bravery. Every moment you choose hope over despair is victory. You are passing through, being reshaped, strengthened, refined. Pain is not permanent. It is not the end. It is simply the pathway to a greater you. You will emerge changed, wiser, stronger, not because the pain defeated you, but because you walked through it and discovered who you truly are. What looks like a setback is really a setup. We often judge our lives in snapshots, single moments of disappointment, sudden losses, closed doors, unexpected delays, and we assume what we see is all there will ever be. But life is not measured in moments alone. It is woven together in seasons. What feels like a setback might simply be a scene in a larger story, one that is carrying you towards something you didn't even know you needed. Sometimes the things we call obstacles are actually invitations. Invitations to grow deeper, to think broader, to trust more securely. We tend to cling to comfort, familiar routines, predictable outcomes, but comfort rarely stretches us and predictability seldom reveals destiny. There are times when life must interrupt us to redirect us. A denied opportunity may be saving you from unnecessary pain. A closed door may be shielding you from something you were never meant to carry. You may think you lost something precious, but perhaps you were being positioned for something greater. When seasons shift suddenly, we wonder if we've taken a wrong turn, if we've lost favor, if God has forgotten us. But there are divine moments that look like chaos to the human eye. There are transitions disguised as tragedies. There are breakthroughs hidden inside breakdowns. You may be looking at the ruins of what once was, but those ruins might be the foundation of what will be. The ground that shatters beneath you may be the exact place where new life emerges. Life often rearranges itself without asking for permission. Plans fall apart, friendships fade, opportunities change direction. You find yourself holding fragments, unsure of how to rebuild. But the setup is rarely visible at first. It works in secret, it rearranges quietly. It doesn't announce itself with celebration, it introduces itself with confusion. But in time, you will see that what you thought was taking you backward was actually preparing you for forward motion. Think about how a slingshot works. Before it can launch anything forward, it must first pull back. That backward pull is not punishment, it's preparation. The resistance builds momentum. The tension generates power. The farther back it's pulled, the farther forward it goes. If you feel like life has pulled you back, it may be because you are being positioned for a greater release. You are being stretched so you can soar. There are blessings that only hardship can deliver. Some strength can only be born in struggle. Some clarity only arrives after confusion. Some lessons only surface after loss. When you think everything is falling apart, something deeper may be falling into place. Just because you can't see the purpose doesn't mean there isn't one. The seeds of future victory are often planted in the soil of disappointment. In seasons of setback, what matters most is perspective. You can choose to fix your eyes on what left or what's being built. You can focus on the door that closed or the path that's opening. You can mourn the ending or anticipate the beginning. The setup is not just about arriving at a destination. It's about becoming the person who can handle what's coming. You're being strengthened, sharpened, reshaped, recalibrated. The process may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You might feel lost, but you're actually being led. You might feel abandoned, but you're being aligned. You might feel delayed, but you're being developed. Not every interruption is a loss. Sometimes it's a rescue. Not every pause is punishment. Sometimes it's protection. What you call a setback may be the very thing preparing you for your greatest moment. There will come a day when you look back and understand. You will see how the pieces fit. You will recognize why that chapter had to close. You will be grateful that things didn't go according to your plan, because a better plan was unfolding all along. The setup was always there, hidden inside the setback. You grow stronger through the breaking. It is easy to celebrate strength when it is visible, when you are standing tall, confident, and unshaken. But true strength is not born in comfort. It is forged in seasons of pressure when life weighs heavy on your shoulders. The breaking you experience is not meant to crush you, but to reveal the depth of resilience placed within you. We often pray for strength, unaware that strength does not arrive wrapped in ease. It arrives through struggle, through stretching, through moments when you feel you cannot take another step. Yet, still, you move forward. There are seasons when life feels like it is tearing pieces of you away. Relationships shift, dreams collapse, expectations dissolve, and you feel the sting of loss. But in those same moments, something sacred is happening within you. The breaking exposes what was fragile so that what is unshakable can emerge. It removes what is weak so that something stronger can take its place. You begin to discover a version of yourself that would have never been revealed without the pressure. A tree grows its roots deepest not when the sunlight is gentle, but when storms rage and winds threaten to uproot it. Likewise, your roots are strengthened when life's winds blow at you with full force. You may bend, you may sway, you may even crack, but you do not break without purpose. Every challenge drives your roots further into the soil of faith, anchoring you in ways you didn't know were possible. The deeper your roots, the higher you can grow. The higher you grow, the more you can withstand. Breaking seasons teach you what comfort cannot. Comfort might make you happy, but discomfort makes you strong. Comfort settles you, discomfort develops you. When everything is easy, you rarely stretch. You rarely dig deeper. You rarely confront the parts of yourself that need healing. But when life presses you, when the weight feels unbearable, you discover strength that was hidden beneath the surface. You begin to see that you were built to endure more than you imagined. Sometimes breaking comes through loss, the loss of a loved one, a job, a dream. Sometimes it comes through betrayal, when trust is shattered. Sometimes it comes through failure, when plans fall apart. But each form of breaking carries a lesson. It teaches humility, compassion, patience. It teaches you to lean on faith instead of understanding alone. It teaches you that strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to move forward even in the midst of it. A diamond is formed only under extreme pressure. Gold is purified only by intense fire. In the same way, greatness is revealed only through breaking. The fire does not destroy the gold, it refines it. The pressure does not crush the diamond, it shapes it. What looks like destruction is often transformation. You may feel like you are losing pieces of yourself, but perhaps those pieces were never meant to stay. Some things must break so better things can be built. Breaking also teaches gratitude. It reminds you that not everything is guaranteed. It helps you cherish moments of peace, connection, and joy. It teaches you to see life with deeper appreciation. You learn to celebrate progress, not perfection, resilience, not ease. You learn to value the journey because it shapes you more than the destination ever could. The beauty of breaking is that it prepares you for others. When you have walked through fire, you know how to comfort those still in the flames. When you have been broken, you know how to speak to the broken. You carry empathy, understanding, and wisdom, gifts that can only be earned, never taught. Your testimony becomes a lifeline for someone else navigating their own storm. You grow stronger through the breaking because breaking is not the end. It is the beginning of rebuilding. You are being shaped into someone deeper, wiser, more compassionate. What once felt like it would destroy you becomes the very thing that equips you. With every lesson learned, every wound healed, every tear wiped, suddenly strength rises. The narrative begins to fracture, it refines you. And in time, you will look back and see that what once hurt you helped you, lifted you, and transformed you into someone capable of carrying the weight of your destiny. Faith turns the impossible into the inevitable. There are moments when what you're facing is bigger than your strength, beyond your logic, and completely outside your ability to control. You look at the obstacle ahead and think, there is no way. Your mind gathers evidence, your emotions tremble, your doubts whisper louder than your hope. Yet faith has a language that defies the limits of reason. Faith declares that there is a path even when your eyes see only walls. Faith lifts its voice in the darkness and says, light is already on the way. Faith is not blind, it simply sees differently. It sees possibility where others see failure. It sees victory while others see defeat. It sees the end while you are still standing at the beginning. Faith is not just believing that things will work out. It is knowing that even if they don't work out the way you expect, something greater is emerging. Faith is surrender without fear. It is trust without evidence. It is confidence without clarity. It does not require you to understand every detail. It only requires you to hold on. You don't have to understand the entire journey to take the first step. You don't have to see the finish line to keep running. Faith grows one decision at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time. It teaches you to move even with trembling knees, to speak life even when surrounded by silence. The impossible is only impossible until faith steps in. Faith reaches into the unseen realm and brings forth what has not yet manifested. It is the soul's anchor in a storm, the inner strength that refuses to bow to fear. When everyone else is giving up, faith says, try again. When every door is locked, faith says, there is a hidden door you have not found. When others walk away, faith keeps standing. It does not crumble under pressure. It becomes stronger. Faith is not denying reality. It is acknowledging that there is a higher reality beyond what you can see, touch, and measure. Faith shifts your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this preparing me for? Faith transforms trials into training grounds. It transforms confusion into clarity. It transforms delay into development. You begin to understand that what seems impossible today is only setting the stage for tomorrow's testimony. What you thought would break you becomes the very thing that elevates you. There are times when faith feels like standing on nothing, yet somehow you are still standing. You might feel unsure, afraid, or unprepared, but faith doesn't require perfection. It only requires willingness. If all you have is a mustard seed of hope, it is enough to move mountains. Mountains do not move because you are strong. They move because faith speaks to them. Faith is the voice inside you that refuses to agree with defeat. Faith is the courage that rises when everything around you falls. Challenges are no match for faith. Faith does not eliminate the fight. It empowers you to win it. It does not remove struggle. It infuses you with strength to endure it. You begin to realize that battles are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to reveal what faith can do. The impossible bows to a heart that believes. Faith teaches you to look beyond what is visible and trust the promise that has yet to unfold. When faith becomes your foundation, fear loses its authority. You stop measuring your future by your past. You stop judging your destiny by your circumstances. You begin to walk with confidence, knowing that every step you take is guided, covered, and aligned. You understand that even when doors close, it is not rejection, it's redirection. When people leave, it is not abandonment, it's protection. When life delays, it is not denial, it's preparation. Faith turns valleys into victory, obstacles into opportunity, and waiting seasons into birthing rooms. You come to trust that what looks impossible today will soon become the inevitable outcome of belief. Because when faith is present, impossibility is just another word for not yet. Faith says, keep walking, keep believing, keep hoping, because the inevitable is on its way. Your identity is greater than your circumstance. Too often, we allow what we are going through to redefine who we are. We let failure whisper that we are not enough. We let disappointment convince us that we are disqualified. We let struggle speak louder than purpose. But circumstances are temporary, while identity is eternal. What you face is not who you are. The storm around you does not determine the strength within you. You may feel surrounded by pressure, but your identity reaches deeper than the pain, higher than the chaos, and further than the moment you're standing in. There are seasons where everything around you feels unstable. Relationships shift, finances tighten, emotions waver, and uncertainty clouds your vision. In those moments, it is tempting to define yourself by the instability. You say, "I am struggling," and slowly believe you are the struggle. But you are not what happened to you. You are not your losses, your mistakes, your fears, or your challenges. What you are experiencing is simply a chapter, not the title of your life. You were created with purpose before pain ever arrived. You were chosen before struggle ever hit. Who you are has already been written, and circumstances cannot rewrite your design. Think of a seed buried underground. It may look covered, forgotten, and lifeless, but its identity remains unchanged. It is still a seed designed to grow. Its nature doesn't shift because it is temporarily hidden. In the same way, you may feel buried beneath stress or sorrow, but your essence remains strong. You carry gifts, talents, and destiny that cannot be erased by hardship. Even in darkness, you are evolving. Even in silence, you are developing. Identity does not disappear in trouble, it deepens. Circumstances may challenge you, but they are also tools, chisels, that shape your character. They test you, not to define you, but to refine you. They prepare you to step into spaces you never imagined. When life presses against you, something greater begins to emerge from within you. You learn endurance, wisdom, compassion, and courage. You gain the ability to stand even when you feel like collapsing. You realize that there is greatness in you that adversity can awaken but never destroy. Many people spend years believing they are limited because of what they've been through. They hear the echo of past failures and assume the future will repeat them. But your past is not your prophecy. Your pain is not your identity. Don't let temporary seasons speak permanently over you. What surrounds you may shift, but what is inside you remains steady. You carry a calling that circumstances cannot cancel. You are equipped with strength that trials cannot weaken. You possess purpose that storms cannot wash away. Identity is rooted in truth, not in feelings. Feelings are real, but they fluctuate. They rise one moment and fall the next. If you define yourself by emotion, you will constantly change, constantly doubt, constantly lose direction. But when you anchor yourself in truth, in the deep knowing that you were created with intention, circumstances lose their power to control your self-worth. You become unshaken, even if life shakes everything around you. What you face today may be overwhelming. You may feel lost, tired, discouraged, but underneath the surface, your identity remains unbroken. You are stronger than you know. You are more capable than you realize. You carry more resilience than you believe. You are not defined by the chapter you're in. You are defined by the origin of your creation, shaped with purpose, built with strength, destined with meaning. Lift your head, look beyond the moment, remind yourself who you are, not who fear says you are, not who pain says you are, who truth says you are. You are chosen, you are worthy, you are powerful. You are becoming more every day, not because life is easy, but because identity cannot be erased by hardship. Circumstances may change, but identity remains. You are more than the storm, more than the struggle, more than the moment. You are destined, and nothing life throws at you can take that away. Rise with discipline, courage, and hope. Overcoming is not an accident. It is a choice you make again and again. It is the commitment to stand even when you feel weak, to move forward even when fear tries to hold you back, to believe in the promise even when the evidence is not yet in sight. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of obedience, a stronger, wiser, more confident you. But you reach that version only by embracing discipline, walking with courage, and holding fast to hope. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about consistency. It is the quiet decision to get up every morning and try again. It is the silent refusal to quit. When you choose discipline, you build strength step by step, habit by habit, prayer by prayer. You begin to shape your environment instead of letting it shape you. You start to make choices based on where you're going rather than where you are. Discipline is the practice of aligning your actions with your vision. It keeps you grounded when emotions fluctuate. It anchors you when motivation rises and falls. Motivation may spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the determination to move despite it. Fear will always show up when you are standing on the edge of something new. It will whisper that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. But courage listens to a different voice, the voice that says, "You were made for this." Courage takes the first step when the path is unclear. Courage walks into opportunities that feel bigger than you. It recognizes that growth requires stepping outside what feels comfortable. Every time you push past fear, your capacity expands. Your confidence strengthens. You start seeing possibilities instead of problems. Courage teaches you that the greatest risk is not failing, it is refusing to try. Hope is the fuel of the soul. It is the expectation that something good is coming, even when nothing around you indicates it. Hope is the light that keeps you walking when darkness surrounds you. It silences the voice of despair and speaks life into weary places. Hope gives vision to your dreams and anchors your heart in seasons of uncertainty. Without hope, the journey is heavy. With hope, the impossible begins to look possible. Hope reminds you that every season is temporary, that winter eventually turns into spring, that tears can be seeds for joy. Together, discipline, courage, and hope form a powerful foundation. Discipline strengthens your actions. Courage strengthens your decisions. Hope strengthens your heart. When these three work within you, you become unstoppable. You begin to rise not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. You realize that winning is not only about reaching the finish line, it is also about who you become along the way. Rising is a daily process. Some days you feel strong and energized. Other days you struggle just to take the next step. But rising is not about how quickly you move. It is about refusing to remain where you are. It is the insistence that your story is not over. It is the decision to keep showing up, to keep learning, to keep believing. Every small step forward is progress. Every moment of perseverance builds momentum. Your rise is shaped through the daily choices you make when no one is watching. There will be days when discipline feels heavy, courage feels distant, and hope feels faint. Yet it is in those very moments that your rise becomes the most powerful. When you push through resistance, you develop muscle. When you stand through adversity, you deepen resilience. When you cling to hope in darkness, your light grows brighter. The journey is not meant to be easy. It is meant to be transformative. You have the ability to rise not by chance, not by luck, but by intention. You rise by aligning your actions with your purpose. You rise by speaking truth over fear. You rise by believing that the best is yet to come. So decide to rise. Commit to discipline, walk with courage, hold on to hope, and watch how your life begins to elevate, not because circumstances change instantly, but because you change from within.